So getting an NIN is one of the basic requirements, mandatory requirements if you want to apply for a Nigerian passport for your kids, for your children, and all that under 16 and everything. They just turned one, they just turned two, and then you've been thinking of how to get them a Nigerian passport. Before you start that whole process, and getting them an NIN is very, very important and mandatory. You can't start the process of applying for a Nigerian passport for your kids without getting them an NIN. It's very, very important. It's a mandatory requirement. When you check the Nigerian immigration website and all that, the first thing they're going to ask you to get is an NIN. You can't start the process without getting them an NIN. That's why I'm making this video. That's how important it is. Now, also, I did a video where I explained the step-by-step process on if you're looking forward to applying for a Nigerian passport for your kids and all that. So I used ours as a case study. I used our daughter. We just got her first Nigerian passport, and I broke down the step-by-step process on how to apply for a Nigerian passport, everything you need, the documentation, everything you need, and the Nigerian embassy location and everything. So I mentioned everything on that video. But one of the most important things I mentioned on that video is NIN. So I said on that video that before you start the process, once you've gotten to the Nigerian immigration website, the first thing they're going to ask you when you start, before you start the process, is their NIN. So I mentioned it on that video, and I had a couple of comments, people based in the UK asking for how they can go about getting an NIN and all that. So that's the reason, like I said, that's the reason why I'm making this video. So I had also parents who have, kids who have mixed parents. So one parent is from Nigeria, the other one is from the UK, and all that, asking how they can go about getting an NIN. Like I said, for us, it was quite easy. So what we did was we went to Nigerian WhatsApp community group. What we just did there was just when they asked questions, who knows anyone that's doing NIN in our city and everything, and we were lucky. They gave us a contact of a guy that does enrollment, capturing and everything. So we went, and he charged us £50, and then we were able to get the NIN. I think we got it the next day or so. We got the slip and all that, and then used it for the application process. And also, we also have a pastor here, Christ Embassy pastor. Also, what he does is he organizes it for parents. So if you're a parent and then you need an NIN, he would get these guys from London to come to the church, and then you guys can actually go there and then for the enrollment and everything. So, like I said, you could try these options and see if it's easy for you. If not, the next easy option is to do it to basically check online. There are a couple of sites, and these sites have got locations. Some of them are around you, some of them are a bit far from you. I know that all you need to do is check online. I'm going to mention the sites, licensed by the by NIMC. I'm going to mention the sites, and I'm going to tell you documents you need before you start applying for the NIN for your kids and all that. Now, let me just walk you through the process one after the other. The first thing you need is a couple of documents, which like I said, I'm going to mention all of them now. The first document you need is an NIN. Yourself, the parents, you need to have an NIN. So if one of the partner, if the husband is from the UK and then the wife is from Nigeria and all that, you need to get an NIN of one of the partners. So the parent need an NIN. You need to have an NIN already. So the first thing you need is your NIN. That is one. The second thing you need is your child's birth certificate. It's very, very important. Original birth certificate. So even if they are born in the UK here or if they are born in Nigeria, it doesn't really matter. You just need their birth certificate. And then the third thing you need is your Nigerian passport. The parents, either of the parents, their Nigerian passport that have like the biodata page and all that, but you need the physical, like your Nigerian passport. Is very, very important. So these are the three most important documents that you need. These are the three documents that you need. And also, I'm also going to mention it here now so that I don't forget it like towards the end of the video. If you're also going for, if you've chosen a date and all that for your enrollment, for the enrollment of your, for the capturing of your children and all that, you also need to go with these documents to the enrollment center. You need to go physically with these documents to the enrollment center. So have it at the back of your mind that even if you've been able to upload them on the site, if most of them will ask you to upload it, even if you upload it there, you need to go there physically with it. Let me recap again. So the three most important documents you need is your NIN, that is the parent's NIN, your child's birth certificate, and then your Nigerian passport. It's very, very important you have all these three documents before you start the application for the NIN. I think most of these sites also accept BVN also if you do have, but if you don't have, like I said, NIN is very, very important. So they might ask you for, when you get there, they might just ask you for your NIN and the child birth certificate. So they will need most out of the 3 they might ask you for 2, and then just use it for the capture rate and everything. So like I said, have it at the back of your mind, these are the documents you need. Now let's go into the price. So most of these sites will tell you, like we did ask for £50. Most of these sites will tell you for children under the age of 16, it's going to cost you £40. While kids above from 16 years and above, it's going to cost you £50. So this is the price. Like I said, for children under 16, £40, and then for above, £50. Just have it at the back of your mind that this is the price. But for me, I'll just budget £50, and I just have it at the back of your mind that this is the price. Like this just factor it in. I know traveling to the location, I know that the price might be different, but I'm just giving you the price of how much it will cost you. That's on the price. And then the next one here is the sites. Now, like I did mention, most of these sites, like a couple of them I'm going to mention now, they are licensed enrollment centers. So before I mentioned the sites, I did a verification on the NMC website. Excuse me. So you can actually see it on the NMC website there. Before you pick any of this licensed enrollments, guys, you also have to check the NMC website to see if they're actually licensed to do the NIN. So I've checked, and a couple of them I'm going to mention, at least 2 of them I'm going to mention on this video is on the NMC website. So they're licensed to do NIN for you. So it's not like they're just trying to, I wouldn't say scam or trying to do, yeah, like I said, they're actually licensed and all that. So let's just go into it. Now, the first one that's actually licensed there is EH-LED. I don't want to mess up their name, so that's why I'm just giving you that. As you can see on the screen here, it's EH-LED Global Resources. So these guys, actually, if you also check the, so like I said, EH-LED Global Resources Limited, as you can see, they are also verified. So I checked their names on the NIMC website. Is actually there, so they're actually licensed to do the NIN enrollment and all that. So it's quite easy. Go through their site. They have a couple of locations. They've got they've got Southeast London. They've got also. Yeah, just London. They've also got one in Kent. They've got one in Bracknell, and they've got one in Leicester and all that. So they've got a couple of enrollment centers. Just go through their site, go through the enrollment process, and then select a date that is convenient for you, and also select any location that's closer to you, and you can actually do it there. Like I said, these guys are actually on the NIMC website as verified, and then the next guys there are. These guys, SimFix. So SimFix is also there on the NIMC website. I'm also going to share a video on about the NIMC website, and then how you can actually double check. So SimFix is also there, and all the documents I mentioned is actually the same documents that these guys would actually ask you for, and most of them will ask you to download an application form. So you download it and then fill out the form and select a date for your enrollment. So as you're going there for the enrollment, you just need to go there with the application form. You go there with the documents like I mentioned, and then you go there with your child. And most of them will also tell you how to dress for the capturing. They will tell you that your child needs to wear black and all that. So like I said, take your time, go through the sites, and then just get the application done. SimFix also have a couple of other locations too. They have locations around. They have also in Manchester and all. So like I said, go through their site, select any of them. These 2 I mentioned now are licensed enrollment partners for NIMC. So they are licensed enrollment partners. These 2 I mentioned, I know they are very, very verified, and they are here in the UK. There are other ones you could actually try. I didn't see them on the NIMC website and all that, but I know a couple of people that have actually used them and then it still work for them. So you could also try this one. Is nimc.gov.ng. They've got a couple of locations also in the UK. So nimc.gov.uk, as you can see on the screen here. And then these other guys are also available. They call them Mostone Resources, as you can also see here. They also help out with registration. Why I feel like you can actually use them also is like the guy that did ask for us. There's always going to be like a server, there's always going to be like a headquarters and all that, so you can actually do it here and then submit the application, and in 2 to 3 days it's going to come out. So that's why I said you could try these guys. I know a couple of people. Before you actually do, you can actually go on their website, see testimonies and all that. So I know a couple of people that have actually used them also. So but the two main sites, like I mentioned, are actually verified on NIMC website are the 2 I mentioned, which is EH-LED global resources and all that. So they've got a couple of sites and everything. Aside from this doing it this way, like I mentioned, you could speak to somebody from your community and ask them questions. They could have an idea of someone who does it around there. You guys can also organize, and then if you have a lot of parents within the community that want to do it, you can organize and invite these guys that can come in and do the enrollment. But like I said, it's very easy to do. All you need to do is go through this site, download the application form, fill it out, have your documents ready, select a date that is convenient for you, and then travel with your, if it's that far for you. When I say travel, I mean if it's very far from you. If it's not far for you, go there and then get it done. Within a day or two, you get your slip, and then while you wait for the original, that is the card. And once you get the NIN, you don't need to wait anymore. Once you get that NIN number there and it's been verified, like you've gotten it and all that, all you need to do is start your application process for the Nigerian passport. Once you have that number, start the application process. So once you have that, you don't need to do anything. Just start the application for your kids and then get them their Nigerian passport. I know the reason why most of us want to do it is because, like I said, we want to connect them back to their roots. We want to make sure that they're still close to home and everything. It's nice. It's very important. So these are the documents that you need, and that's how you can go about applying for your for the NIN for your kids. Like I said, you either do it the way we did ours, or you could just go through those sites. They're all there. They're verified by NIMC, like I said. Just go through it and then start the application. Submit selected date that is convenient for you. Travel with your family, go there, do the capturing, and then return back. You can also look for a couple of other places closer to you. That's all you need. Like I said, it's very important to get it before you start the application process for your Nigerian passport. I will see you on the next video. Thank you.